Hello there, smart artists making smart decisions. I'm Steve Fogelman, and I've been made a new co-moderator of this group. So thank you, Anne, for the honor of inviting me to participate and share some knowledge with everybody here. So if you read my bio, I've been in the business for a very long time, and I've done all kinds of other art as well. And so it's interesting, I just started a YouTube channel on Thursday, Fogelman Artist Empowerment, and so this kind of coincides nicely. I'm going to put some videos here first, made specially for here. My web channel is geared towards all kinds of art, but these will just be focused on acting. And so one of the things that I was thinking about that can be, I wanted to say, so the things that I say, what I do is I just ramble and I babble and I muse, and some things you may find helpful, some things not, some things may resonate with you, something not, some things may trigger you somehow. And you know, that's something to think about. If something I say somehow makes you angry, you know, let's talk about that, because that's really kind of important. So that's what the comments are for. You're free to leave any kind of comments, love comments, hate comments, whatever you need to express. We're artists, so we can express whatever. So one of the things that I was thinking about is that was helpful for me on my journey. So every one of you is on your own artistic journey, and some of you may not be on an artistic journey. This is supposed to be for actors, artists. Some of you may not consider yourself artists, and that's okay. And so those who are, what is an artist? How are you an artist? This is not an accusatory question, it's just something to ponder, to understand what is it that makes an artist? How does being an artist change your identity? You know, these are the things to think about, like, you know, when you're walking or running in the morning or doing exercise, self-reflection kind of thing. What do I want to bring to the art? And most importantly, and I'll probably say this often, is what is unique about me? Because only you is you, and that is your power. Regardless of the fact that you go to an audition and everybody in the room looks like you, only you can be you. And so being the most you, that is the most important thing in your career, how to be more you. And so all that is about really, you know, because society puts so many things on us that we do, you know, we're all wounded, traumatized people and babies, and things happen as children, and we're just trying to function in the world and trying to be part of society, that we lose our individuality. And your individuality is actually what makes you stand out. And so how do you develop that individuality? Well, these are some of the questions. I don't have any answers. That's one of the things. I'm a artist empowerment coach. I'm not a consultant or or a career consultant. I don't have any answers for you. You actually have all the answers inside you. I just ask the questions, and the answers that you come up with are actually the right answers for you. That's all that really matters. So, but I am going to share part of what was my journey and understanding, and this may not be yours or where you're at yet, but I found, you know, as I continued studying acting, that my consciousness expanded. So that what does that mean? Well, I think it means, you know, my brain started to take in more information about what was going on in my body and around my body and in society and things like, and understanding who I was and what made me tick, that I just became more conscious of everything. And that's really helpful, because I'm thinking, okay, so when you go to the movies, because movies, film acting is based on behavior. And even films, I used to write screenplays, and screenplays are actually written more about behavior. You have to come up with, I forget what you call it, but little behaviors of your character is how you wrap around your story. And you might think, oh, that actor made a wonderful choice to do that action at that moment. And that might not have even been a conscious choice. That might really have just come out of the actor's behavior. We don't know, but this is what I'm saying. When your consciousness expands, you do things, you're freer to just behave and be you and not have to plan out every single moment of action that you do. The other thing I wanted to just mention related to that, to the consciousness, is impulses. So that can be related to that, the consciousness and the behavior that I had mentioned comes out of impulses. And you can give people the same play, the same role, and different impulses of behavior will come out for each person. That's what makes it unique. That's what, and how do you train to have these impulses? How do you trust your impulses? Well, that's where, you know, training comes in. Now, my training started out in Meisner technique that I learned when I was like 19 years old, I guess. At the time, I didn't really know how beneficial that would be, but looking back, I attribute those repeating exercises. It seems kind of crazy to do that. What am I getting out of this? But it actually starts training your body to develop natural impulses for things and beneficial. So I was saying, so impulses, I'll just give an example. Like a few years ago, I did a play called Festen, and it was based on a movie. I think it was a Danish or Norwegian movie, and it was sort of it was a rather dark themed movie. It's about this fella's 60th birthday party, and his children are there, and one of them his daughter had just committed suicide, and we find out in the play that her twin brother and her were both molested by their father. So it's a rather deep story, although it's a very well-written play, and it was on Broadway, actually. It only ran like a month, because I guess, you know, that's a hard ticket to sell. But anyway, so I played this character, Poole, and he was the only one at this dinner party who was not a member of the family. And so we were rehearsing in this cathedral, part of Columbia University, and where they rented the space from the church. And it was winter time, and so the heat was on, and if you don't know, in New York, you can't control the heat in anything. And so the space we were rehearsing in, it was really big, but it was just steaming. It was so hot. And I was just, you know, trying to do my thing, and it was just, you know, it's like doing Tennessee Williams. That heat is there for a reason, you know. And I just took off my shirt because it was just so hot. And that actually stayed in the play. The director liked that impulse, and it was further developed that throughout the play. I started in a tuxedo, and I ended up in an undershirt. So so these impulses that you have that are real, they can really add something to the play that I don't know that any other actor who played Poole would have thought to take off their clothes. Do you know what I'm saying? It's not written in the play, but that was just my impulses. So I think it leaves you enough of things to think about for the first time of my ramblings. Thanks for listening this far of me just going on. And I'll come up with some other things. Oh, some topics to look out. I'm thinking about doing something on what is talent. What besides talent do you need for a successful acting career? And successful meaning how you define successful. Everybody has their own definition, so that is a variable. And so I'm going to be talking about more of these abstract ideas of art, of things that you might want to talk about. I don't know if any of you keep journals, but these are the kind of things to think about and write about and really kind of help you explore your inner depth and psyche, because that is where the art comes from. If you are so inclined to further develop your artistic abilities, not simply your acting technique. They're sort of different things. Technique is one thing, but your artistry is basically how you use that technique. So again, thanks so much. Feel free to leave comments.